Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Chapter 8 of Tusk, the Mighty Mammoth. Chapter 8, New Allies. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. Chapter 8, New Allies. Tom pushed his way through the trees. He could hear the roaring of the evil beast, and feel the ground trembling from the pounding of her massive feet. Although he couldn't see her, he knew she must have broken free from the snake ferns. He pressed on, heading deeper into the forest. Dread filled him, but he didn't hesitate. His destiny lay ahead of him, and he marched on through the trees to meet it. After a while, a sound behind him made him freeze. He peered into the undergrowth. Someone was there. "Show yourself," he commented. Odora stepped out of the shadows. Behind her were 20 or more men and women from the rebel camp. Tom saw that some were armed with swords and bows, but others carried only simple weapons, pitchforks, axes, and sticks. Many of them had long coils of rope slung over their shoulders, weighted at one end with fierce grappling hooks. "We want to help," Odora said. "Most of our people have stayed behind to guard the camp, but we couldn't let you fight the great mammoth alone. We want to defeat Melville's power too." Tom smiled. "Thank you," he said. "Come on, as quietly as you can." He strode ahead with Odora. Beside him and the others following. The roaring of the mammoth grew gradually louder, and Tom could see trees thrashing about. She was close now. As they went deeper into the forest, Tom could hear the plaintive cries of the captured dragon. He sent his thoughts out to the good beast. "While there is blood in my veins, I will not let you die." He could tell that his words gave comfort to Furno. He waited until all the rebels were gathered around him. "We must split into 2 groups," he exclaimed. "We need to strike Tusk from both sides at once. Use your ropes to try to bring her down, but make sure that you avoid her poisonous tusks." Tom put Odora in charge of one band of rebels, and led the other group himself. They split up and went creeping through the forest. Finally, they saw Tusk. She was roaring and stomping among the crushed trees. Torn vines trailed from her limbs and hung over her broad back. Tom could see that she was too engrossed in her battle against the snake ferns to stop the people creeping towards her. He gestured to Odora. She waved back, and a few seconds later the 2 groups of rebels flooded into the open space. Tusk bellowed as she finally caught sight of her attackers, her golden tusks glinting dangerously in the sunlight. "You're too late," Tom thought, hope surging through him. "Use your ropes," he shouted as the rebels came in close to the huge beast. Rope after rope went flying up, the hooks digging into the monster's flesh. "Climb onto her back," shouted Odora. Rebels swung up on the ropes, attacking Tusk with swords and pitchforks. "Use your bows," came another shout. Arrows were fired, but they sprung back off her thick hide. Axes bounded the beast, but Tusk hardly seemed to feel the blows as she shook rebels off her back, and threatened to trample others underfoot. "She's too strong," wailed one man. "We'll never beat her." "Yes, we will," Tom shouted. "Don't despair." Despar. He moved in towards the beast's great head, watching those poisonous tusks. He hoped that the attack would confuse Tusk enough for him to be able to get in close to deliver a fatal thrust to the creature's throat. But Tusk was not so easily beaten. She thrashed about, the ropes coming loose and the rebels swinging helplessly from her back. A cold, cruel voice sounded in Tom's ears. It was Melville, returning to taunt him. "You will never defeat me," he cackled. "I will always defeat you," Tom shouted back, springing towards the beast's head. He hacked at the mammoth's tusks, trying to get in close enough to stab her. But no matter how hard he fought, he couldn't get past the tusks and the swinging trunk. He saw the light of triumph glittering in the mammoth's red eyes. The rebels were falling back now, their weapons useless against the mighty mammoth. A blow from her trunk sent Tom sprawling, his sword splitting from his hand. There's the rebels fighting Tusk. Tusk seemed as powerful as ever. Tom struggled to his feet, his shield up to ward off another crushing blow. If only Elenna were there with him. Without his friend, it was as if half his strength and determination were missing. Another blow from the mighty's trunk knocked him to his knees. The rebels were doing their best, but their weapons had no magic, and the arrows, pitchforks, and the sticks were bouncing uselessly off Tusk's hide. Tom heard Melville laughing at him. He had failed. All was lost. But then, as Tusk raised a mighty foot, ready to crush the life out of him, Tom saw a slender figure coming riding through the trees on a stallion. It was Elenna and Storm. That was chapter 8. I need to find new allies. It's only 10 minutes. Huh. Interesting. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my read through chapter 8, New Allies. Oh, excuse me. I had lunch an hour ago. But hope you guys like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys are interested in more Beast Quest videos. Alright. I will see you all on Thursday. Yep. Bye-bye.